Welcome everybody back to Inside the Coffeehouse. I'm D-Rod.
I'm Anna.
And today we're going to be talking about a topic that really I hold close to my heart, and I think is one of the really big reasons why I've been able to make music a career, and that is confidence, that is optimism, and that's having the mindset of everything's going to be okay in the end. And we're going to kind of pry on some questions, and just so y'all can see our mindset behind that and how we, I guess, live our everyday lives with these principles and just talk about it. So yeah, I have a few notes here, but do you want to go on with the first question?
Yeah.
So I can kind of break it into what I'm talking about this episode?
Yeah, let's get started. So the first question we have is, how have we handled the phrase, everything will be okay in our lives?
Perfect segue, because a lot of things that we do in our lives, and I'm sure everyone can relate, obviously, not everything goes according to plan. Not everything goes at the time that you want it. Not, you have goals and we want to be at places at certain points of our lives. And whenever we don't hit those places, it can kind of get, we can freak out, because we don't know what we're doing with our lives. So I think we've kind of taken an approach of like, hey, let's be grateful for what we already have. And then on top of that, whatever else comes in can be like a massive blessing, on top of that. So I think just staying focused on our goals. And if we know we're doing the best that we can to cultivate, our relationship and cultivate our house and cultivate, keeping our bodies clean and cultivate having a good, strong, career. If we're doing everything that we can do, then everything else is just improvement. And on top of that, so from the phrase, when I think everything will be okay, I kind of just grow in confidence knowing that, hey, I know that I have a lot to learn. I'm still young 20s kid, and we can still learn from the point that we're at right now, So I think being young is a part of it. But even if, I can see myself 10, 20 years from now, like still being very young and knowing that like, hey, I still have a lot more life to live, and like, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Going on to the second question. How can someone grow in confidence to a point where they feel comfortable going towards a certain goal?
That is something that I think I still struggle with a lot of the time, because even though I can kind of have an impression of, hey, everything's going to be okay, like we just talked about, it's still a struggle. There's still an every single day struggle to really win and overcome the negative thoughts or battle in your head of thinking that you're not good enough or thinking that, is this the best that it's going to be? So I kind of taken it as an approach of like, all right, how can I be confident in myself and in my self-worth, knowing that I'm good enough no matter. That doesn't mean, external validation from other people. Or that doesn't mean, how good my numbers are doing on Spotify. That doesn't mean, anything like that. It just means that like, hey, what's my worth in? What do I place my value in? And what do I want better? Do I want, what's the word? Do I want like things that are superficial, like fame and money? Or do I actually want like a life to live that I can help and serve serve other people better? So that's where I get my confidence in personally. And that just makes me feel comfortable to keep going, because I've seen how I affect people's lives with me doing music. And I see that the potential and the growth can be a lot more, So that's why I stay in the path. But and I don't want to go into the third question because I know we were kind of just talking about it.
Yeah.
But that just keeps my confidence up high. So for any of you out there that want to grow in your confidence or just growing in, how can I put myself out there to do whatever art you want to do or do whatever goals that you have? It's just a matter of just like asking yourself, being like, all right, what do I personally want in my life? I'm kind of going to like next week's episode, like, but what do I want for my future? What do I want? What kind of people do I want around me? These are all questions that you need to ask yourself first, because if you don't know these questions, it's going to be so hard to go through life and, wanting validation from this person when that person doesn't matter, or wanting validation from this career when honestly that's not what you want to do. So if you kind of have that set in stone, knowing that like not about career, not about anything else, it's just like who you are as a person and who do you want to be, what does your message want to be to the world, no matter where you are in life, no matter what career, no matter what people that you come across, you will still be on those like firm foundation and that concrete like evidence of who you are, and nobody can take that away from you.
Question 3 is, how can you take setbacks or obstacles and use those to further yourself towards your goals?
Those are setbacks and things that go wrong in life, which things always go wrong. Those are the key points that make you who you are in your life, so those points of failure is what's going to equal the success later on, because a lot of people just stop at failure, and just failure is just a part of becoming successful later on. It's just failure, just learning what you don't need to do next time, So when you go back to like these setbacks and obstacles of who you are as a person can elevate you to that next level, you know? And I guess what I'm trying to say is like, so being able to take these setbacks and obstacles and making sure that you know and you grow and you learn every single time that you have one of these obstacles, will like in turn make you a more confident person because you know a million ways how to do something wrong. But if you know the one way to do it right and you're learning to and you're willing to adapt and keep on learning no matter how older and wiser you become in life, I mean that's how, you know, that's basically entrepreneurship. Like I just love business because it just pushes me to keep learning and adapting every single day.
Yeah.
But then again, that's relationships too. You know, you're not going to like, we're not where we were back in 2020 when we started dating, you know? So that comes with adapting as well. Same with career, same with school, same with whatever you're doing in life. You need to be willing to like, hey, there's going to be setbacks. There's going to be pit stops and there's going to be things that are going to stop whatever dreams that you have, but you got to be willing to like be grateful for those moments and be like, all right, this is a learning opportunity. This isn't something that's going to be, you know, detrimental to my life. And even if it is, it's like, what can you learn? What can you take out of this instead of just going in and like wallowing and be like, oh, like being so like sorry for yourself. It's like, no, like this is something that's bad. Or whatever is going on in your life. But like, what can I do to continue on, you know?
Yeah.
And you want that more than like, I want success and I want, you know, a healthy marriage. I want healthy whatever. I want just to be a healthy person more than I want just everything else to be just coasting in my life. You know, like there's going to be times where I need to learn and grow. I mean, that's all it takes is just to grow yourself as a person.
Yeah, that's really good. I was going to say like setbacks and obstacles too. They're always like meant for a reason.
Yeah.
And then I think like the older I mature, the more I realize like if I really wanted what I wanted and everything went perfect and I just coasted with life, it would be like I wouldn't learn anything. Kind of like you were saying.
Wouldn't be growing as a person.
I wouldn't be mature. So I feel like those setbacks and things, yes, they're difficult in the moment, but you learn so much about yourself, and that's who you become. So I feel like setbacks are just something I always say like they're there for a reason and they're meant to teach you something, like you said. So always view it as that, and that you get more confidence when you view it as more of a positive thing.
I completely agree. Is
that
really all
good.
that you had?
That's all I had written down. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, that's all I really wanted to say.
Perfect.
Just encourage you all to be confident in yourselves. And if you're not, it's okay to take an evaluation and take a step back and be like, all right, who am I as a person?
Yeah.
And just kind of going through a checklist of who am I? What's my worth in? What do I see myself doing? And if, you know, who do you actually want to impress? Not anyone else really, but like, what do you want to do in yourself? And just take practical things. We can make an episode about that. Just what are practical steps that we are taking just to make sure like our mental health is okay, you know? So we'll make an episode on that later. Yeah, anyways, thank y'all so much for joining this episode. I want to hear what y'all think, so let us know in the comments.
Guys.
Peace out.
Okay, so if you want to finish the rest of that podcast episode, along with dozens of other podcasts, song breakdowns, and exclusive videos and songs that I don't put out anywhere else, join D-Ross Coffeehouse for free. I promise I post 3 times a week in there, and I don't even show it to anyone else except for the people in there. So I love y'all, and I'll see you soon in the Coffeehouse.